Hey everybody, Joe here. So just got back from the gym a little while ago. Sat down, poured myself a glass of whiskey, in case anyone cares. Poured myself a nice glass of this Method of Madness. It's a Middleton creation. This is the one that's aged in or it's actually finished in chestnut casks. So if anyone is a whiskey drinker out there, highly recommended. It's really good stuff. Not that that matters. So I was just sitting down to have my glass of whiskey, and Mr. DHL man arrived with another package from France, from Yema. So I guess watch check. Today I was wearing my Yema Superman Bronze GMT. The date is not correct. I never set the date on my watches. If it was up to me, no watch would have a date function. I like no dates. But anyway, so if you recall, I got this piece a couple weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago now. It's been great. It's been flawless, runs nice, accurate. Bronze has not really started to patina very much. Number one, because I own so many watches, I kind of have to force myself to wear it often enough to maybe patina it. I don't really go near salt water or anything like that. And I'm not a super sweaty person during the day. So I assume it'll patina eventually, but in the meantime, I'm enjoying it being kind of a brushed shiny bronze, just the same. It's a pretty watch. I really love this watch a lot. But that brings us to today. So like I said, DHL arrived, brought another package from Yema in France. So we're going to open it up. And just so you know, Yema doesn't send me these watches or anything like that. I just have an addiction. So let's just put that out there. So let's open this thing up. I'm going to tilt the camera down a little bit. That's not the right thing. Here we go. Do that. There we go. Okay. The very normal deal of packing peanuts. And this is all very familiar. So we get the sleeve, you got your travel watch pouch. And what we got, typical deal, your card with all your information. And we have, as you can see, it's on a Yes. So we have the new spring collection Yema MeanGraf Y70 with the gray dial and the yellow racing stripes. So this is a 1970s reissue. And it is running the same Seiko VK64 quartz movement that would be in the Yema Rallygraph that's been available for years. This is actually my very first Yema I actually got. So it's the same Mecha quartz movement in this, but they've just put it into this reissue, this 1970s racing reissue watch. It should have, let me take off all the little stickers and decals and I can do this easier. There we go. Yeah, so okay. So that's kind of cool. So the bezel is actually sat into the case slightly. So it's like integrated into the case. So it is bi-directional, so it rotates clockwise and counterclockwise. And that obviously is for your chronograph feature. Then you have your normal pushers, start, stop, reset. And it appears that, yeah. So it runs just the same as the Rallygraph as far as the movement goes. The way your subdials operate and your main. So really, when you're just wearing this watch, normally the only thing that really functions is your hour and minute hand moves. You don't have a second hand. And then this subdial here will tell you your hours of the day in 24-hour time. This dial, this sub-dial here, it won't do anything only under your timekeeping. So if you're using it as a chronograph, a stopwatch, whatever, that's the only time this sub-dial will actually function. So you don't really have a second hand per se, which, you know, it is what it is with these Mecha Quartz movements. But really, with a watch like this and at the price point, you're kind of buying it just because it is a really cool reissue. I do like the thickness of the case compared to the RallyGraf. You can see that there. It is got a lot more weight to it, a lot more girth and heft. So it feels like an automatic weight-wise, just based on the thickness and the heft of the case. The case itself is 39 inches or 39 millimeters wide. The case height is 45 millimeters, and then the strap is 20 millimeter. So straps going to be fairly common if you decide to go with a watch like this. They also do this in black dial with red stripe, and I believe they have an all blacked out version, which is pretty slick as well. And I believe your minute, hour hands, whatnot, I believe those are all red. I'd have to double check that, but I went with the yellow on the gray dial. I thought that was pretty slick, so picked it up. This is part of Yema's spring collection. They released, I think, 4 watches for spring. And after I had gotten this, I kind of was like, well, I'm done for the year. And then they released this, I believe, the week after I got the bronze, and I went, oh, okay, I guess I'm not. But also, if I'm gonna tilt the camera back up real quick. So if you are buying Yemas as often as I am, do enroll in their customer privilege program. Let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. I've managed to save up enough customer points that I had a coupon available. I get discounts on straps, things like that. But I had a coupon available for $100 off. So the asking price on these right now is $349, I believe $350, call it that. So I just applied my $100 coupon. So I actually only paid $250. And like I said, it went DHL. I ordered it Friday of last week. It's Wednesday. And here it is. So I will say this, Yema gets this stuff out the door fast, and DHL gets it here quick. I can order stuff in regular UPS or USPS mail from California, and it takes a week to get here. So pretty much on the spot as far as their shipping goes. No complaints there. Let's see what it looks like on the wrist. And I am going to assume that it's not going to be anywhere near sized for me. And it is, no, it is not. But we'll make do. And this is actually very easy to adjust the sizing of the strap. I'm just not going to deal with it right now. I'd rather just give you guys an idea of how this is going to look. So that's how it would look on the wrist. I have 7 1/4 inch wrists. Metric wise, I believe that works out to be 84 millimeters or 8.4 centimeters. You can see the height it sits on the wrist. Actually, I can do this. Just go over here. There we go. Snap this off, getting close for you guys. There we go. So it actually is very pretty. I do like the kind of the racetrack going around the dial, and the indicator lines going around. In the bezel, like I said, I'm not 100% sure how to explain it, but you can use this as an actual chronograph. One of these days I actually should learn how to do it because I have several watches that are chronograph watches. And of course the back, typical. It is all stainless steel, case and case back. This watch has a mineral crystal, not a sapphire crystal. So something to think about there. If you're rough on watches, got to be careful with your mineral crystal. They do scratch a little bit easy. But this watch is same basic construction, stainless steel with a mineral crystal. And I've had this watch since December of 2019, and it is still in fantastic shape. Let me get this to focus. There we go. It might be a little dirty, fingerprints, things like that, dust, but otherwise it's held up real nice. The crystal, I mean, for being a mineral crystal, it's held up real nice. No issues with it. So as far as normal wear and tear, normal daily usage, I wouldn't worry about it. If you're rough on your stuff, yeah, that might be a little bit different. If you work in construction or something like that and you're wearing it on a job site, it might get a little thrashed. So just something to think about there. So like I said, just want to do a real quick unboxing. First impressions are pretty much what I expected. I'm a little bit surprised, pleasantly surprised, I should say, by the thickness of the case. I knew it was a little thicker, but I did not realize it was that much thicker. And the weight on it, it's easily twice as heavy. Now, granted, this also has a metal strap on it versus the leather strap on this. I am taking that into account, but the weight overall is so much heavier. Just the case itself, you could feel if you try to take the weight out of the strap and just let the strap kind of go limp in my fingers and then, just hold up the case. The case it's so much heavier than this. There's a lot of material there. So it feels solid. That's a nice thing about it. It is a quartz watch, but it doesn't feel chintzy, lightweight, cheap. It feels good. It actually feels like you're wearing something. So that's a positive. But again, it's your normal, the normal Seiko Mecha Quartz deal. Again, you just have your start stop plunger. If I get this to focus, there we go. Maybe. Probably is because I'm in the frame. Can't do two. There we go. And your stop. Reset. So, pretty typical stuff. Again, I've been pleasantly surprised with the Yema. This is the Yema number 5 for me. And I only discovered them in late 2019. Like I said, this was my my sample, my starter watch. And I just fell down the rabbit hole from there with these guys. So, pleasantly surprised, very happy with their stuff. Yeah, so that's it. And again, like I said, they're not sending me any of this kind of stuff. I just have an addiction. And plus, I haven't been able to really feed my shooting habit for the last year because of shortages. So I've just kind of diverted funds from one thing to another thing. So that's it. Any comments, questions, feel free to shoot them, leave them, whatever. All good. I'm going to clean up here, adjust the strap on this, start wearing this, and then I'm going to finish my whiskey. So until then, if you have any comments, questions, leave them, whatever. Other than that, cheers, Nostrovia. Have a good night.